Hello YouTube, this is going to be a conclusion of my snowblower project that I took on, where I swapped the engine out. I originally had a Tecumseh 8 horsepower engine, and I swapped it out for a King Canada, which is a rebrand of an LCT 7 horsepower 212cc engine. So a few more difficulties I encountered. I actually have it all buttoned up right now, so I'm not going to take it apart again. But on the crankshaft, I used the adapter plate. The spacing, as I said, I just had that gear cut. It ended up being perfect. The pulley was right where it needed to be, and it lined up with all the other pulleys. So everything works well. But in order to fit the washer and also get a bolt long enough and sturdy enough to hold that pulley, I had to use an M10 bolt. It originally was an M6 going in that pulley, so I drilled it out and tapped it to an M10 by 1.5, which is a common size in the hardware store. And it's not a fine thread, that's a coarse thread. So the one that was in there originally, I think, was a fine thread. But I managed to get in 6 or 7 threads deep, so should hold. So what I did was, originally I got an M10 by 50 millimeters, and that bolt was just a bit too long. And the problem is, when you stick out a bit more than that washer, it hits the plastic casing here. As you can see, it made that bump, and I started smelling smoke, and I took the cover off, and I started melting the inside of that. So I ended up taking that bolt out, and funny enough, not all the hardware stores have M10 bolts around here, and I had to make my rounds until I found an M10 that was 40 millimeters long, and that one fit nicely where it just clears the plastic. It's still bigger than the bolt that was in there originally, but it clears the plastic. So with that out of the way and my adapter in place, the adapter came with a keyway for it, a special stepped keyway. And ended up all buttoning up back together and working well. Everything on the snowblower still works like original design. You got all your speeds. The spring keeps tension on the belts and for the speeds, and you have your auger engagement with the spring. It still puts tension on the belt, and it all works, and the engine doesn't vibrate loose. And so far so well, it's all holding up. Put some Loctite red on that bolt, it should hold up, maybe as good as the original. Yeah, I'll start it up for you guys and see how she moves. I'm gonna do this one-handed, so it's gonna be a bit tight. It's warm already, so I'm just gonna give it 2 primes and choke it. This one, the auger. You won't be able to see much. Anyways, go to reverse. So overall, it's not too bad of a snowblower. With this new engine, hopefully it should last another 30-40 years if well maintained, and nothing vibrates loose, of course. Anyways, if you want to make more YouTube videos, just comment below.